Yo, what's up, everybody? How we doing today? I think we got a few new names in here. If you guys have not been here before, this is our office hours session that we do every Tuesday evening, where we'll be in here for about half an hour, and then we'll be over in the HuddleGG server for half an hour as well. And any questions you guys have about Madden, if you guys are looking to get better, you can type it in here. Type it in the chat. If you're on your PC, chat bubble should be top right. If you're on your phone, I believe it's at the bottom. But welcome in. Welcome in. You guys getting excited for the new game at all? What we got? 3 months? 2.5 months? Moa, where's your video at? We've been waiting for your video. And again, guys, you can start putting your questions in the chat whenever you are ready. You know, it's been frustrating me lately because I've had more people lately telling me that they can make their line block better by IDing and shifting players when running the football.
I see you sit there and ask me questions, have me text you, then make me late for the office hours. I see how it is.
Assume you'd be here on time.
I was here on time. I figured when you went ahead and messaged me that I should stop, you might needed some help. But no, you're just trying to delay me.
I've been waiting for Moa to put his video in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been getting bothered by, like I said, people lately I've seen a couple times. That's why I did it in the last cuddle video this week about like people saying that you can adjust your line based off IDing the mic and that and double teaming players and it's one of the easiest things to test and I don't know why people still believe that's a thing they can do.
Someone told him that it was.
I mean, literally just double team somebody on the line. Double team that right screen D tackle. They're not gonna double him ever.
Yeah, I don't know why the
ID that right screen middle linebacker. No one's gonna block him.
Waiting for questions, or
I'm waiting for questions. Yep. Yeah. Any questions you guys have, you can put them in.
we're just out here just start a rant and
I've already asked them for questions. I'm just waiting at this point.
How's everyone doing?
And Mower came in, said he had a great video to show us this week, and he hasn't even posted it yet.
He's holding out.
He is.
He wants to make sure that you know how it feels to be told something and not have something delivered. That's how he's going with it. That's what he told me. Yeah, he's going to promise pick him something and just not deliver.
Oh, he told you that. So this is premeditated.
Everything Mower does is premeditated.
Yeah, short dog with match coverage. It can definitely be something that takes a little bit of time to learn. Just because it's a coverage that's going to change, obviously, based off of what you see defensively. What you see offensively. So, for instance, again, if they're in bunch, it's going to play one way. If they're in 2x2 spread, it's going to play one way. If they're in trips, it's going to play one way. If you're pressing, it can change things. That's just quarters. Obviously, the other match coverages have similar things where they'll switch their rules as well based off of the different formations and different alignments that you're going to see. So, yeah, it's something that I think is very useful if you understand it and if you learn it, but it does take a little bit of time. Yeah, I think that's been in for as long as match. I mean, it's been in for at least like 4 years. I don't know the very first year if it was in when they put in quarters, but it's been in there for a while. And for those of you that don't know what he's talking about, what Meg is man everywhere he goes. So against a 2x2 spread set, it doesn't even have to be 2x2 spread, to be honest. It can just be a formation that has two split out receivers to one side of the field, right? So it doesn't have to be to both sides of the field. I'll just do it out of one from both sides of the field. What you'll see is if we would come out in something like quarters and I would run that X on a drag, right? If I run this X on a drag over here, that outside corner is not going to follow the drag. Okay, so you can see here on defense, we're in cover 4 quarters. If I run that drag, he's not going to follow him across the field. The 3-rec will sometimes pick him up. 3-recs aren't great in this game. Sometimes they do a much better job, but a lot of times that's going to be your user. If you would press that guy to the left, and we do that same route combo where we have drag and a streak, he's now going to play what's called Meg, where he's going to play man everywhere that guy goes. So again, just simply by pressing your defense or pressing that individual player, when you get this alignment in quarters against this 2 receiver split out, you're going to get man coverage on this guy every time, no matter what route he runs. So just simple thing there. You can tell if it's obviously pressed or if it's not pressed. And for instance, if we would do this right from each side of the field and we back off the guy on the left, what we should expect is even though the route combination is the exact same to both sides, the guy on the right should play man and the guy on the left should zone off because he's not going to follow. You can see I'm not actually manning anybody up here, but just understanding these rule changes in match coverage, you can see again the B was getting followed. I see our 2 receivers ran into each other there at the end of the play. But this guy here gets followed on his drag. This guy here does not. The outside corner is not going to follow it. So that is what Short Two Dog was talking about when he mentioned the word Meg there at the end of that.
This is deafening.
I know. No questions.
I know. We make ourselves available for anybody who wants any questions. It's like going to an extra tutor class and nobody wants to have any questions to ask. There's no question that you guys can ask that is a bad one, because obviously there are people that are here just to hear responses. So if you want clarity on anything, this is a great time to get one-on-one attention type deal.
Yeah, and if it's simple, if you think it's a simple question and you're like, I don't need to ask that, that is never the truth. There are a question that you think is the most simple question in the world. I promise you there's going to be somebody out there who doesn't know that. And you asking that question is going to get you both the answer. And again, obviously, it's more than two people, too. There's a lot of people who sometimes are afraid to ask a question because they feel like it's, I guess, a lower level question. But you're most likely ahead of somebody else in your Madden skill level. So again, there's always going to be someone who will benefit from it. There's been questions that people have asked us before that is so low level at first. You think, like, for instance, how to kick longer field goals. We've talked about this before. There are a lot of pros who don't know how to maximize their kicker. So there's certain things that even though like you think, oh, how do I kick a field goal longer? It's not something that is again too simplistic or too basic of a question. We'll always answer them. And again, same thing goes to the other end of the spectrum as well. There's nothing too complicated. I mean, if we don't know the answer, we'll try to find it for you. We'll figure it out. What would be the linebacker's responsibility if we're in quarters for cover 4 quarters and it's trips with the running back on the trip side? Are you talking about the yellow linebacker, the 3-rec coach short?
Sounds like he's talking 4x1.
Oh, there's nothing. Yeah, sorry, I messed. Yeah, if it's 4x1, you're not gonna get matching with quarters. The only matching you're going to get is going to be cover 3 match. Can match at times against 4x1, but cover 4 quarters against a 4x1 set, which again 4x1 is going to be 3 receivers to one side and the running back to that side as well. I guess let me just reword it: 4 receiving threats to one side of the center. Can be the easiest way to say it. So obviously here you can see we have the 3 receivers and the running back. This is not going to play match. This is going to play more of a spot drop cover 4. There are still some unique rules, and AntCap talks about those in ways that he styles up bomb plays and shot plays to get down the field. But it's not going to play your traditional match here when you have the 4x1. Yep, yeah. Cover 3 buzz and cover 3 match. Cover 3 buzz match and cover 3 match do have some matching principles still. But quarters palms do not match 4x1. There are some things that people do though, like I don't know if it still works. Let me test it out. If they man up this backside guy here to the running back, and the running back goes out to the left, in years past, I don't know the exact route combination, but in years past, he'll point to the 3-rec. The 3-rec will now become a man coverage defender on the running back, and then this guy would essentially be the 3-rec. That's not match coverage. It's just a way they pass off, and they're not doing it there either. So I'm not sure if that's even in the game anymore. I haven't tested that at all year. But again, that's not match. That was just a thing that you could get a man coverage guy to switch if you were in that, if you manned up the backside quarter flat.
Fun or exciting, you make it not.
You watching it now? I watched the first 2 seconds. I laughed, then I stopped it.
Things that you choose to be. Why are you the way that you every time I try to
I've never watched that show. Do you ever watch The Office?
Yes.
A lot of people told me I should watch it, but I just never have.
I had knee surgery and I was in bed for quite a while, and I just binge watched the whole thing. So get hurt.
Everyone I've talked to about it has loved it. I mean, I don't think I've ever really had anybody come up to me and say they didn't like The Office, so I'm sure it's a really good show.
Good. I think it's just one of those things where once you get into it, you don't realize what you're missing, and then obviously, like, because on the surface, it's just it's a show about nothing, but you know, you get to know the characters. It's funny. Short Dog's he's gonna get a private lesson for whatever he wants.
Hey, Short Dog always shows up. Short Dog supports all the YouTubes, all the tweets, and he always asks questions too. Anything he has. Like I said, we will be going over the HuddleGG server in about 15 minutes, guys. So, I mean, you can ask questions there. You can ask them here. It doesn't really matter. But
in that server, there's probably going to be a lot more people, so you're probably going to get more questions potentially, but it may start a little slow because people are not exactly 100% understanding the format. So we'll see how it goes, but we just want to try it, because sometimes just being here to get the other questions answered is beneficial, right? You just don't know what you want to ask until somebody asks it. Yeah, I want that too. So opening up to more people helps.
yeah, I can already see where Mower's going with this. Mower's going to start making all videos with me being the bad guy. Mower's at a little bit of a, I don't know the word. Mower is at a spot where he's frustrated with me. In Madden, toughness isn't really a super important attribute, Short Dog. My guess is why they added it is it was a big thing that people wanted added to college football. And with CFB.fan, I mean, it's the same thing from HuddleGG. I mean, ran by same person. But CFB.fan, I know a lot of people wanted toughness because wear and tear was dependent upon the player's toughness rating. So my guess is they just added it to Madden as well. But I don't know of any specific thing that toughness will do in Madden that really is beneficial or meaningful. Do you know, Ant, of anything in Madden? Like I said, college, it is important. I make no... I mean, it's very important in college.
To me, I make sure that they have toughness, because the worst thing you can do is yell at them in the locker room. They just don't come out in the second half, so they have to have a little bit of a backbone. So I look at it. I mean, if you want your guys to be soft, that's fine. But
And Antcap likes to yell at his players.
Yeah,
he gets very frustrated.
I gotta get him to react. So yeah. Besides that, no. I mean, if you want soft players, you can have soft players, but I think that's really the only thing that it's worth.
So the answer is no, guys. There's nothing. Just to clarify for people who didn't catch on to the sarcasm, there is nothing that toughness will do in Madden.
Got on a shoot that might be tied to injury rating that you would get in, like a CFM or something, that you have that on there. But as far as MUT and what we play, or head-to-head online, your one-on-one modes, it doesn't matter.
Let's see. Moss said, I've watched you explain how to stop gunway trips. What gunway off trips RPO read by flat. I've been using Big Nickel to defend it. My problem is guys are building their scheme around it now. I can stop the RPO, but I'm being gashed with inside zone. Mesh routes, crossers, etc. What defense do you use to stop that without being too vulnerable? What are you doing to defend the RPO flat? Because the thing with RPO read by flat is you really only need one specific route or one specific zone on the field to completely shut it down. You just need a hard flat to your slot defender. So I mean, depending on how to cover everything else, just depends what my opponent's running. Mesh routes, obviously, with your double drags in that, I like putting yellows on 5. Out of any defense, doesn't really matter. So you could play cover 3 with 2 yellows in the middle with a hard flat to the right. Have your yellows on 5, and that's going to take that away. Crossers, I don't deal with crossers a lot out of that formation, personally. But with crossers, I mean, typically I'll user the crossers or I'll switch stick to somebody. But backed off cloud flats can do a good job. You can always put your purples on 5 or 0 to get them to play the flat, and then you could put your flats on 25, 30 to defend crossers, help out with corners and things like that, and play like a Mabel style defense to the right side especially. But in terms of there's not one specific defense that I use every single time to answer your question. all of my defenses are dependent on what I think is coming at that time. Like I said, I just mentioned a few things of what I like to do. So for instance, if I think they're running a mesh style concept, like I said, I will go hooks on 5. And or you could just shade down, but you could just play a cover 3 type shell, for instance. And obviously, if we set up our defense to stop the flat, and they would go to run something like this with the mesh, right? Just gonna stay underneath here. Switch stick back to a post if I think the post is gonna be something that'll attack me down the field, right? So again, obviously you can see here the drags are taken care of with our flats and our 5 yards. And if you're worried about this, again, you can always switch stick to this sooner. I'd switch stick to it late here. You can see, just switch stick to that safety sooner. You can even start out on the safety and just allow your underneath guys to take care of it, right? So if you know your opponent's running the same thing over and over, they're running something like this, and you see those guys on drags, you can sit here and cover this intermediate route and let your yellows and your 5s underneath take care of things. The crossers really depends. I like backed off something like this to the left with a backed off cloud and a deep half. And if they would go to run a deeper cross, like let's say with this tight end or something, and they go to say hike, that cloud flat's going to be in a pretty good position there. Crossers are from the double. So you're talking about a shorter crosser, Moss? I got you. Like the deeper crosser here, obviously a backed off cloud flat does a pretty good job. I don't really have anybody run double cross on me. I run this play quite a bit, but oh, the left one's a shorter cross, the right one's a normal cross here. So same thing to the left side here. Again, a backed off cloud flat, like a cover 3 cloud look like this, would be fine, right? So let's say that we put this guy on our hard flat, and we either start in a cover 2 shell or move this guy out just to shut down the RPO. And if they were running something like this, right, when they say hike, we're going to help out here, and then we're going to come down here, and there's not going to be a ton they can do. Like I said, and that's with 5-yard yellows. If you don't have 5-yard yellows, they don't have any throw here to this guy. Like they could try to fit it in right here, but again, if this guy's not on a 5-yard yellow, he would take that away, and then he's going to be running into that secondary window here. So a cover 3 cloud look with the cloud side to the solar receiver side. And again, just have that safety outside of the corner. This would be a nice defense in general to stop it. So again, if they're doing this, I mean, we could always switch stick there, take that away, allow our underneath zones to take away the short crosser. There's not much else to do from that. And Cap, do you have anything specific on that?
No, not really. I mean, it's a good formation, but I think obviously any type of RPO flat where you have to make an adjustment to do it is going to make it a little bit tougher because you have to just kind of set that up and whatnot. But I found that if you can just wait it out, and once you've stopped it once, people go away from it because it's pretty much a pick. They don't want to go to it. Running that formation a lot. Most things are from right to left, underneath and posts. Not a lot of people attack to the outside to the right. So just kind of having a plan of how to take what they want to get away first, kind of how you explained is the best way I go about it. And then I don't say it's limited, but it's not extensive that formation. It's really they're using the threat to kind of get you to have less time to adjust. So if you come out and whatever you do, come out in a cover 2 shell, so you got the guy outside, put that guy in a hard flat on the right, just run anything with a cover 2 shell, you're gonna have plenty of time to adjust.
Yeah, and Moss, you don't want to. So I'll show you the easiest way to defend the RPO read by flat real quick. I would never cover it with your use. So Moss, if you're watching, we did talk about that earlier in the year, about manually covering it at times. There's a really easy way to shut it down. Diesel, you do not want baseline on. Baseline is off for this, but all you need to do, if you're in, you said you're in big nickel, right? So let's say you're in big nickel, just go to show a cover 2 shell. I'm just going to do it out of nickel 2-4 because I don't have big nickel in this. So I'm just going to do it out of nickel 2-4. But again, same thing's going to apply. Let's just say we come out in a, let's just say I come out in a cover 3. Look here. Again, cover 2 shell. All I need to do is put my slot corner on a hard flat. That's it. To shut down the RPO flat. And then again, we can focus on covering everything else across the field, but you're going to see here, they go to throw that. We have our slot corner there every single play. The reason why this works is this middle receiver here, number 11, his job is to block the second defender in from the sideline. So the outside corner is going to be our first defender. And in a cover 2 shell, the safety is slightly outside of our slot corner. So we don't actually have to move anybody. But say you come out in a normal coverage shell where your guys are like this, right? Where the slot corner is outside of the safety. All you have to do is click on your safety, move him outside of the corner. He doesn't have to be down low. He doesn't have to be any specific depth. Just move him outside, again, closer to the sideline than the slot corner is. And then just put the slot corner on a hard flat. And that's all you need to do to completely take this away. You can see he's never going to get blocked because that slot corner, that slot receiver, number 11, he's going to target the second defender in. So he's going to completely run past our slot guy. You can see he's going up to target the safety from the start of the play. Yeah, don't worry about covering it by yourself. Just do that. And like I said, you can do that out of any defense. It doesn't have to be cover 3. Just put a hard flat there on that slot corner. I mean, anything will work.
That'll give you enough time to adjust rather than trying to move people around. Which was great when we talked that in the beginning of the year, but this makes it a little bit easier to not at least set up your defense in a way that you can take everything away.
Yeah, and I'll show you guys. Like, if you don't do a cover 2 shell, you can't just leave it stock, right? So let's say we do something like cover 4 quarters, right? I forgot to change the shell. Hold on. Let's just say we have a default shell here in cover 4 quarters. If we put that guy on a hard flat, these guys in cover 4 shell are stacked on top of one another. So that guy will block our slot corner, as you can see there, and that would open that up. Again, if you would come out on something that's not a cover 2 shell, that's fine. You can still get it to work. Just move, like I said, just move the safety out a step or two. And then as long as we have that hard flat there, you're going to see, again, he's going to be right there to make a play. Yeah, cover 2 shell will fix that, Diesel. Yeah, no, you definitely can get a pick 6 on this setup, for sure. Just depends how that guy plays. If you click onto it, obviously it's a little tough at times to click on just because it's such a quick throw. Definitely something that you can take advantage of. And again, you play whatever coverage you want on the back end behind it then, so you don't have to worry about dedicating too many resources just to stop that one flat route. Again, you know the hard flat's going to take the flat away, and then you can play any combination of coverages or any stock coverage behind that. But it is coming up, guys, on 9 o'clock. So we are going to move over to the HuddleGG server. So in the HuddleGG server, it is going to be under Madden discussion, and it's just going to be under Ask Huddle. So I'm going to put that link here in the chat. You guys are, again, more than free to come over and hang out with us there. We're doing the same thing over there. we just try to split it up half and half between the two. So if you guys have more questions, again, feel free to come over into that channel. If you guys are not in the Discord server at all in general, I will get you guys a link to the HuddleGG Discord server.
We definitely encourage you to go over there and ask questions because a lot of them are gonna not know what to do originally. So if you guys can help us get that started, that'd be a huge help.
Yep. Yeah, but we are gonna head over there right now, and like I said, hopefully we see you guys over there. Like I said, same thing. Nothing's different. You guys can just come over there and ask our question. We're just gonna be doing it from a different channel there. So we will see you guys in just a minute. It didn't shoot you over? Yeah, I don't know why it's not shooting. It might be because we're not live on the stage yet, but if you just join the server, like I said, it's under it is under Ask Huddle, which is under Madden discussion.
There we are.
Hey, how we doing? How we doing? How we doing? Welcome in, everybody. See a lot of new names in here. If you guys are new to this, this is our office hour session that we do over in our Discord over at HuddleGG. But we decided to start putting it in here in the HuddleGG Discord as well. We're splitting it up half and half, so we'll do the first half over in the Huddle server, and we'll do the second half here in the HuddleGG server. So what we do here on Tuesdays is any questions that you guys have about Madden whatsoever. This is a time that we do some one-on-one with you guys. And again, we'll show it on the screen if it's something like, how do I stop this specific play? Obviously, we'll show it here in practice mode. If you have any questions about abilities, anything like that, what player should I get at this position? Again, whatever your questions are Madden related, that's what we're here to do for you and answer. And we'll go till at least 9:30. Obviously, if we have a lot of questions coming in and stuff, I know it's a little bit later in the season, but that is what we are here to do. So again, welcome in. Appreciate you guys being here. I'm Pick'em, and then AntCap is here as well with us. And we'll typically be the two that are here. Sometimes one of us can't make it, but you're going to be seeing or hearing one of us here. Yeah, welcome in.
Guys, I know you guys are pretty familiar with Pick'em. He does a lot on the HuddleGG forums and basically videos. But if you guys don't know who I am, AntCap, I've been in the tip business basically for quite a long time, YouTube, whatnot. Basically, been running Huddle for a while when it comes to content, and do encourage you. No question is a bad question. There's a bunch of people. A lot of times, it's hardest to get the questions out there. So anything that you guys want to ask, please be free. We'll try to do our best to give you as much information as we can. And if we don't know, we'll sit here and lab it with you until we have an answer. It's really about trying to give you guys as much clarity about the game as possible.
Yep. And you should, like I said, you guys should be able to see the screen in my practice mode right now. Also, if you guys are on PC, there should be a chat bubble to the top right. And if you guys are on your phone, the chat bubble should be at the bottom. Then there should have a chat pop up for you. And again, that's where you can type in any questions that you have. But we were just talking about in the Huddle server, someone was talking about defending the RPO read Y flat out of this Y off trips nasty. So I'll go over that real quick, and it's real simple. All we need to do is come out in any nickel set really where you can go with a cover 2 shell. Is going to be the quickest and easiest way to do it. So again, nickel 2-4 is an easy formation. Do it out of, again, just switch your shell to cover 2. And then from there, you can really pick any coverage you want. We can just come out in palms. It doesn't really matter. All we want to do is put our slot corner on a hard flat. From there, the actual flat itself is going to be shut down every time. You can see here, nobody's going to block our slot corner, and he's going to be able to get to that tight end there pretty easily. And if we look over here to the right, you're going to see what's going to happen is because of the cover 2 shell, that safety is slightly outside of the slot corner. And what this receiver does is he's going to block the second defender in from the sideline, right? So with the second defender in from the sideline, he's going to go up to block that guy, which is going to leave our slot corner free to go make a tackle here on the flat guy here. So again, really, really simple defense. You can do it out of any nickel set. Just make sure you come out in a cover 2 shell. You don't have to put, like I said, you don't have to come out in cover 4 quarters. You can come out in cover 3. You can come out in cover 2. You can come out in cover 6. You really can come out in any defense here. The cover 2 shell is going to be our friend, though. And if we would come out, let's say, in something like cover 3 hard flat, we don't even have to, obviously, put the guy on a hard flat because he's already there. But here, you're going to see, once again, nobody's going to block that slot corner. He's just going to come in and blow that play up in the backfield there. So a really simple way to stop that. I know I talked about it on the Ask Huddle article on HuddleGG a couple of weeks ago. But just for those of you who maybe did not see that article, it's a real easy way to stop one of the more frustrating plays this year for sure. I mean, I know it took the game by storm, especially, I don't even remember what time that was, around, what time was that? Around December, maybe?
I thought it's been a game. I mean,
It's been
pretty
popular by whenever it got popular in the big scene too, and then I feel like it got even more.
Yeah, I know you guys have the ability to request to speak and whatnot. I know we have to disable that. We typically would like you guys just to put your questions in the message. If you guys are interested in clarifying yourself, we can absolutely have you come on and at that point kind of talk it. But usually it's just better to type it out. That way we can kind of get more people to get their questions in order and kind of like a queue. Because we keep on trying to ask the question. It's a little bit harder, but sometimes it's harder to clarify, and we'll ask you to come up. But unless that happens, just kind of ask you to kind of put your questions in the chat box there.
Yep, and yeah, it's there should be a little bubble. It's a little chat bubble that'll open up the chat box for you if you guys are not seeing the chat box already. I know sometimes people get confused a little bit with the hand versus the bubble, but yeah, you'll want to click on the little chat bubble. It looks just like a text bubble, and that'll give you access to type in into the chat. Again, any questions you want.
And Peter Cameron, this is definitely new. It's at least to Huddle. To HuddleGG. We do this for Huddle every week, but we felt that it was something that we wanted to also bring to HuddleGG, so you guys have that opportunity just to kind of get clarity on the game. We study it at a really deep level to where we try to, for the most part, know everything that's you can possibly know about the game. And if we don't, we love these sessions because there'll be questions like, oh, we didn't know that, let's go figure it out together. Or we'll come back and make sure we get the answer for you when we're able to, type deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Diesel said, I don't have an exact formation, but I have been struggling to stop under center rollouts. I contain and the quarterback still gets outside. And it's always play action. So the first thing is, when you are containing, anytime you contain, you need to make sure that your player is to the outside, right? So what do I mean by that? If I come out and run a play action play, and on defense we come out here in something out of 3-3 odd, and I contain, right? And you see how this defensive end here, let's say that they're trying to roll out to the right side, okay? And also, I do want to mention this as well. For those of you that are new, again, like I said, like Antcap said, we've been doing this in Huddle for a couple of years now. We do answer the questions as they come into the chat. So we'll answer them in order that they come in. So do not give up if we haven't answered it yet. It just means we haven't gotten to your question. But we will get to all of them, and we will get them answers for you. But if you see here, obviously if they're rolling to the right here on a play action play, and we know that our opponents continue to roll to the right over and over and over, and we want to shut that down. If I come out in this 3-3 odd formation and I contain, this defensive end is not in a great spot leverage-wise pre-snap, right? This guy here is inside of the tackle's outside shoulder, right? The tackle has the wider leverage here. That could put us in a bad position where he could still get double-teamed on the rollout, Okay, or he could get pinned to the inside. So if they would go to do this, you can see that even though we had contain, in that one he did come off the block, but I'll show the replay. You're going to see that because of the leverage of him pre-snap, you see how he has the potential here. If this tackle actually would have engaged, he doesn't engage for some reason, that would be shut down and we'd still be able to roll out. Okay, so it matters how wide that player is. So if we would just do something like this, where we'd shift our line that way and then contain, that's going to give us a better position alignment-wise with our defender that we're trying to stop the rollout with, right? So now if they go to do this, we're going to be in a much better position there where that guy's going to already have outside leverage on the tackle, and that's going to be a way that we can shut it down using contain. So again, pre-snap alignment, really, really important. The other thing I'd recommend, QB spies actually do a really good job this year at keeping leverage with the quarterback. So if you just use one of your linebackers here in a QB spy and they go to roll out, you're going to see that that linebacker is not going to get out leverage. Now, he ran into our player here, which put him in a little bit of a bad position. But you're going to see here, he mirrors this quarterback really well. All right, so this quarterback starts to roll out. You see how he's mirroring him? He's right on top of this. He's not getting beat to the outside. Now, again, he does run into the slot corner, which gets him beat to the outside a little bit. But you can see how he mirrors that quarterback really well, and he's just going to run with him the entire time. Once he gets outside of the pocket, all you got to do is click your right stick in. So don't push it down, or don't push the stick down, push it right, left, up. You want to click it in, right? So push down on the actual stick itself, and that will send your QB spy after the quarterback, and that's another way that you can do it. So those would be the two things I'd recommend. And do you have anything else you'd recommend for quarterbacks rolling out? Also, if you can, try to force them. For instance, I have Drake May. Don't let him roll out to his right side.
I was gonna say, yeah. I'll give you. See, I do this a lot from a player like in single back trio, and there's something about rollouts that you may not recognize is that when you do that animation, you cannot see the whole field. So blitzing a slot corner. So I would say cover two to the handedness of the running back, the quarterback. So he's going to roll to the right side because he's a righty, right? You blitz that nickel corner and pass commit if you think that's what's happening. And I say cover two because that way you just have, you don't have to have as many players over there on that side. A lot of times you can't see that guy coming, and that guy will typically come out here, and he's going to get out there. If you press it, it does work a little bit better because what you want to do is you want to make sure that he gets to the outside of the tackle. But yeah, just blitzing that corner, a lot of times because of the camera angle, it goes to the left, and then next thing you know, this guy's in his face, and you get that sack a lot. So if you just want to shut it down and say you want to get aggressive with it, it's a nice way because it's like that oh crap moment where the camera changes, and then by the time you realize that the camera's there, that slot corner is going to come off that, and he's going to be able to, and now they don't know where to go with it. You can't live that way because, obviously there's times where, they know that guy's going to come off and you can't be that aggressive, but if you want to, get them on a play that they're going to do it on, that's one of the ways I use a lot.
Yep. And one thing that he mentioned there, I'm not sure if everybody heard, that's very, very important, is pass commit. And the reason why he said that is this slot corner, if we don't pass commit, there will be times where he will continue to fall for the fake to the running back and pinch to the inside, which will then allow that quarterback to get the edge and still be able to roll out. Where when you pass commit, he's going to be targeting that quarterback the entire play, and he's not going to fall for the fake there to the running back. So that's something that Antcap mentioned in there that's really important to make sure you do if you are using this style of defense to shut down that. Ethan, there should be a chat bubble on your screen. Should just look like a little text bubble. If you click that, and I see you're typing now. Yeah, if you can just type in your question, we'll definitely answer it that way. Now back to Jack Chiefs. Jack Chiefs says, what is the best way to beat cover 4? So I would talk about an easy way that we can beat cover 4 underneath, and then I'll have Antcap describe a way that we can bomb cover 4. We'll just do cover 4 drop for right now. If any of you guys need specific cover 4 bombs or something like that, we got a lot over at HuddleGG, and also you can ask us here. Obviously, there's different types of cover 4 where we have quarters, palms, and cover 4 drop? Go ahead, Ant.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I think that's the first thing we should probably specify is like if it's all cover 4, that's a different question because something usually doesn't beat everything. It's really about understanding. Most people when they say cover 4, they're talking about cover 4 drop. It's an 8-man drop. It's a spot coverage, and that's what we'll tackle here. If you're asking more about your match coverages, or even when your match coverages, when they take it off a match and put it on default, we can definitely get into that as well. But just want to make sure we clarify which one we're talking about here, because they're not all going to attack each one the same.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So with cover 4 drop, what a lot of people are going to do, especially this year, is they're not going to have 2 yellows in the middle of the field. Okay? They're going to do a loop blitz. They're going to do the blitz where they blitz that guy and run into the guard and disengage. But they're going to have 1 yellow in the middle of the field, and then they're going to have everybody else fanning out to the sidelines. That's terminology you'll hear us talk about a lot with cover 4. Because, again, they're not defending the middle of the field. They're defending the sidelines and deep. They're really relying on their user to defend the entire middle of the field. So all you need to do is attack in between the hashtags and the numbers. Okay? So anything really under, I'd say, 10 yards will do a good job. I mean, even sometimes even under 15 yards or so, you're going to be fine. But something as simple as an out route over here in a curl, okay? And if you did something similar to the right side as well, the user cannot cover both of these curls, okay? So, and you could do, I mean, you could even do smoke screens. You don't even have to do a speed out. But if you did something like this, the user cannot defend both of these areas of the field. This is just a very simplistic way of attacking it underneath. And again, sometimes people try to overthink how to beat a coverage, and it doesn't take a lot of effort at times, depending on what our opponent's doing, right? So you can see here, because these guys are all going back, right? They're not going to defend anything under 10 yards for sure. And then we're just putting these flat defenders in conflict, right? Is he going to play the smoke screen, the speed out, whatever we have over here? Or is he going to back up and play this curl? Let's say the user takes this right of screen curl here, takes that away. Obviously, he cannot cover both of these receivers here in a look like this. You can do the same thing with something even shorter. And this is something that a lot of people used to laugh at me for, but it works very well. If you just do a slant and a flat to each side, again, pick which way the user goes. If the user goes right, we're just going to hit this slant right here. Again, where did we say we wanted to attack? We wanted to attack in between the numbers and the hash marks underneath 10 yards, right? So if we look at the replay here real quick, you can see exactly where we're throwing this ball is in between the numbers, in between the hash, and underneath 10 yards. A route that's really good with this, that you can find stock in certain formations, is a spot route, or this little snag route. People have different names for it, right? So what you could do here is the Z spot play. If we came out in a cover 4 again, and let's say that we've been doing things to the left side the entire time, so now they're going to cover that with their user here, right? So let's say that we do something like this, where to the left side we have that slant and the flat, and over here to the right, we're going to have that spot. And you can even see the running back can be a flat route for us as well. So it doesn't have to come from a slot receiver. But here you're going to see that guy's going to sit right there in between the hash and the numbers and underneath 10 yards. And that's going to be a really difficult thing for our opponent to defend as well. So you could put something like a curl and a flat over here to have your receiver sit right in here. Again, user has to pick that. If he picks that, then the spot route's going to be open. If he picks the spot route, then our slant or then our curl route over here is going to be open. So those are some really, really easy ways of attacking cover 4. And that's actually going to work against cover 4 drop, cover 4 quarters, and cover 4 palms, really, for the most part. Now, certain looks like palms against trips, things like that, you'll have to be a little bit careful because of the matching rules. But if you're in a 2x2 set and they're just coming out in a normal cover 4 quarters or palms look, you can attack in the same area of the field. So again, if you're looking to attack underneath, look to attack in between the numbers and the hash. And again, underneath, definitely underneath 15 yards, but preferably underneath 10 yards just to be safe, to make sure those safeties can't make a play on the ball. And I will pass it over to AntCap now, and if he wants to talk about anything else of what I talked about, or if he just wants to talk about a way we can attack over the top against.
I'll start with the easiest bomb that I like. If you're a right-handed quarterback, you're going to want to be on the left hash because this way you have the opportunity to kind of drift towards your best option. But if you want to go to doubles, we can go to PA read. And so this is going to be something that you can do at a pretty much any 2x2 set. Doubles is going to be your best, and I'll show you why. So doubles offset.
This one, right? On the right?
Yeah, and flip it. Okay, so the reason why I flipped it is because we're just going to the handedness of the quarterback. All you need to do is put your tight end on a streak, and then you want to take the X route and put him on a bang 8, and motion him to the right. And what he's going to do is he's actually going to flip his route to where he now goes to the right side. And I like to block my running back, but basically what happens on this is that the A route is going to get down the field the quickest, right? The bang 8 route, that X route is a delayed route that obviously is going to have a slower ability to get down the field to get elevation. So the safeties are actually going to, the way that they're coded, is that they're going to drift towards the deepest threat on the field. So that right safety is going to, even though he's in a inside quarter, he's just one zone over, so he's going to start going towards the middle of the field. And when he does that, the bang 8 is going to go to the outside, and you can just pass lead it towards the outside. So you want to make sure hash marks are really important when it comes to play designs. So you want to make sure that you've got your running back to the wide side. You're going to see here that this X is going to go towards the outside. Of course, you get...
if I didn't get sacked.
Yeah. So, hopefully, he doesn't... That
was my fault, guys.
Yeah. So if you go, basically got a 3-man rush, and he runs right into it. If you watch this X route, you're going to see how this is going to be. What is up with you and your throw?
I don't know. My running back was in my way there. I'm going to move it back, too, though.
So what you're going to notice is I want you to watch the right of screen safety. And the reason why he's shading towards the middle is because the A is the deepest route. And once you start shading towards the middle, you throw this ball over there, and it's just going to give you enough separation, and it's a quick one. I try my best when I design plays is to keep in mind the amount of time it takes when it goes ahead and allows you to do the pocket. Cover 4 drop is probably the easiest to bomb, only because you're only sending 3. Right now, the way that people are running it now, or sending an extra player in dollar, obviously it's a little bit different. But you can see here, when that safety goes ahead and starts going, you see how the play on the top of the screen is further down the field. That's going to get that safety towards the middle. Once he starts shading towards the middle, you can see he doesn't go too far. He just stays on the hash mark. But because of the bang 8 route, that's why I like it. It has a natural ability to separate himself towards the outside. And that's why all you got to do is time it right. And this is one of those easiest plays that you can score with. So it's kind of what, like right now, if you said, hey, I had one play to go with cover 4 drop, which would I go to right now? That's the one. I mean, there are a lot of different ways you can do this. You could definitely put the, if you didn't want to do the motion, you could definitely put the tight end on a post and have the Y on a streak, and it kind of work the same way. What you're trying to do is basically, the idea is to get somebody down the field quicker to attack the safeties, and then have somebody at a slower elevation. So something like this, as simple as that. I do like to usually go a little bit up with the A, just so that he goes a little bit higher at elevation. Just like one stem, yeah. But for the most part, that's usually how a simple route combination like that is going to kind of yield the same results. We're going to throw it behind the comeback to the side. So things like that, these are all hot routes. These are all things that you can do when it comes to route combinations. Not really, hey, you have to use this play. The only reason why I picked the play that I did, and I'll explain this to you guys just so you understand. The difference between doubles is when you motion over the left receiver, he ends up on the hash mark. That's important for the bang 8 because you need him to have that much room for him to do this, right? So if you see when you go Patterson, when he goes over a couple things, he goes on the hash mark. And trips, it's not going to be that way, right? You're going to see, if say you want to do a trips tight end and do something like this, the splits are different between the receivers, and this is why this makes this work a little bit better as well. So that's why like doubles, you can do this out of like a spread, a 2x2 spread. That's going to work. But the idea behind this is to make sure that the tight end stays to the inside of the hash marks or the numbers, so that he gets the attention. Once he goes to the outside of the numbers, then he ends up being someone that doesn't get the attention of the player.
Yep. And I wanted to mention one more thing too that I forgot about in terms of just beating it underneath. A simple flat route and a zig does a pretty good job as well. And it's something like a trip set here, where the flat is going to take the flat defender, and then when that zig or that whip breaks to the outside, it's a really easy route to attack as well, especially away from the user. That yellow's never going to cover it. So even if they are sending 3, that yellow's not going to cover it. If they would be sending that guy, right, and they user the B over here because they know that we're going to go with that, then, like we talked about, just have something on the backside here. In between the hash and the numbers. Again, if they would run to the left, we would have this throw to the right. If they run to the right, we would have the throw to the left there. So, you talking against in trips, Diesel?
Yeah, just a flat streak. So yeah.
Yep, same concept. Yep, because again, you're making the user choose, right? So if the user chooses the side where we're running the whip and the flat, then we're just going to look to the backside and have that guy. And again, where are we attacking? Same place we've talked about attacking the entire time. Underneath it is, and that's again in between the hash and the numbers, and underneath 10 yards. So you can see if we throw the whip, it would have been underneath 10 yards in between the numbers and the hash. If we throw it to this running back on the streak, same thing. So again, there's a lot of routes you can accomplish this with. Those are just some easy ones that we can hot route a lot of the times. And again, depending on the formation, it changes up where you can attack with at times as well. So. Are there any other questions that you guys have about, again, anything, can be anything Madden related, that card-wise, defense, offense? I mean, we've had special teams questions before on kickoffs, onside kicks. I mean, there's a lot of questions that we get. We will do our best to answer whatever those questions are. Do I like any of the cards that came out today? Talking about the golden tickets. I haven't looked at them a ton. Obviously, Vic is nice. He's right-handed, so if you are a guy who's not good with left-handed quarterbacks, that can be very helpful for you. I mean, he has some cheap abilities with Pass Lead Elite or Master Attack for 0. Bazooka, I don't really think is that useful. Fearless for 1 or Tank for 1 is okay. The running back, Falale, having Trust for 0, Human Joystick for 0, or Bulldozer or Spin Cycle, and I think he is 6'4", 6'8", so he probably gets a good spin. He's going to be another Devondre Sweat style card. And you liked Johnny Wilson's first card, right?
I mean, this one's.
Did or not?
Yeah, I mean, I had him on my roster, but to be honest with you, he didn't really see my field. I just wanted him as a deep threat because he was tall and be able to. You really can't out-throw him because of his wingspan. But the thing right now for me when it comes to these golden tickets, it's pretty simple. It's how much better, if they're better at all, than some of the cards that are already out there. So to me, it's more about just having fun with them and figuring out what it is. Like the one that piqued my interest the most was the Darnell Washington free safety, just because of the height and I think weight is really good when it comes to basically hitting players. But most of these guys didn't make these guys as hitters; they made them as coverage guys. And I don't know. I just feel like right now that the game is at a spot where you already had everything that you already wanted, on both sides of the balls when it comes to abilities. So right now you're just having kind of fun with, the cards themselves. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously getting the universal coverage baked on for 0 is, always nice. All 3 of the defensive players have that. So, yeah, Darnell Washington being 6'8", I think he's 6'8" as well. 6'7" maybe.
Yeah.
That's always nice, especially for those high balls down the field. Your opponent's trying to throw those. It's going to be tough for them to complete.
Yeah.
Kind of shocked Ronnie Lott got a middle linebacker card. That's just one I wouldn't expect people to really go with, personally.
Which one? Yeah, I personally feel like some people do it for their own desire of a player. Ronnie Lott could be their favorite player, and it makes no sense to anybody else but them. As far as an overpowered player, he's probably not, one that's going to, jump off the screen. But if I was going to go and take it this year, I would do my favorite. I just don't think that there's too many ways to improve on the players that are out there. I think they kind of went ahead and already maximized what you could do with height, weight, players, and all that type of stuff. So for me, it would be more about who would I want to enjoy playing with.
What type of man coverage? Diesel. Cover 1, cover 0, or cover 2 man? Cover 2 man out of trips.
I got you one. Any type of wheel route and smoke is what I'm going to go to first, because it's not about their coverage. It's about basically getting a pick. I like the formations to where you can motion somebody and they come in closer. We do it at a stack by flex. I know you're in the Eagles playbook, so
and like these, playbook.
I know Diesel's in the Eagles as far as what he runs. So it won't be the same as what we have here, but just in this instance, what I would do, I don't know on the trips if you could do this or not. The reset rule, where you could basically get them to be more compressed, it would probably make it a little bit easier to do a wheel, where you do on the short side of the field. But you could try that and see if the splits work. Let's see. Yeah, I think that I didn't know if that guy was going to be able to get any type of rub.
We probably wouldn't be able to get it from that position.
Yeah,
I'm in the Giants on offense right now, Coda. But we're
okay. So go ahead and do a favor. Go into left hash.
Yep.
Call any play and then reset it. If you guys don't know, there's a way to get different splits and trips by doing this. So he's in a play, and then you audible to any play, and then you reset the play, and it changes the splits. So a lot of times here, you might be able to get that Y up the field. Actually, I don't know what you did there, but it should have been the opposite. They should have came inside, not outside like that.
Yeah, he got wider.
Yeah, no, that's not how it should be. So I would just reset the play. So, restart, like get a new play, like get out of it. Yeah, because sometimes depending on what you originally called, so nothing like shock option where you have to have
don't call shock option.
Yeah, because that route, there's different splits depending on what you call, right? So tight end is not going to have different splits. The shock option will, because they're going to, that route needs to have more room to run it. So not all splits are going to be the same. So do tight end in or verticals, then go to something else, and then they should split it, right? See how now it's tighter? Well, this, I think, should be able to get the Y on that wheel and then put the B on a streak. Just he didn't get off of it, yeah. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to create a rub over there, and try to find it. So I know he's very specific on trips. We're in Giants. I know there's a lot of other formations I like when it comes to trips that are different than this. But see if you can work that angle. And you also want to put the B on the streak so they can hold the safety. Let's see if that works that way. And you might have to do the drag instead of from that angle, instead of the smoke. But one of the best things you can do when it comes to cover 2-man is get the wheel to get underneath it, and then see that guy's not going to end up being that way. So I don't know if this trips is the best. I know he likes trips tight end flex is his formation that he goes to, but typically speaking, if you're not trying to do like a wheel combination to get up the sidelines like that, we can definitely show you some other routes that we talk about beating cover 2-man all the time. One of my favorite routes to beat it is the short crosser from the left side of the field. Actually works a lot better than from the right side. So a lot of times you get a bump off of them, where you'll be able to they'll kind of bounce off of it. So set up a routes like this, usually like a mesh or either or however you want to do it, but usually something kind of like that to be able to. But this B a lot of times will end up getting open. Either they'll whiff on it or they'll get a really bad bump. But these short crosses are good. For some reason we realized that going left to right, these routes are really hard to get any type of hands on. Right to left, it works different. So you see how if you go back to that play, you'll see what I'm talking about as far as this is how they react to him a lot of times. If you watch that inside receiver, they get this bump off him. See how he basically tries to do this? They bump, and then you get the separation. From the left side of the field, for some reason, you get that a lot, and then you're able to kind of beat him a lot. So just the way that the angle is. So those are just routes that you can use when it comes to trips. That'd be my suggestion as far as something I go to. Do you have tight open? Because we could definitely show tight opens in a lot of playbooks. I don't know if that's at Eagles, but let me double check as you go look through. I'll see if it's in Eagles.
So the play that he's talking about is going to be verticals, halfback burst.
Yeah.
And you don't really have to change anything. But if you run this to the short side of the field, either way, whatever is the short side of the field for you, if you post the inside receiver and slant the inside receiver on the opposite side, so do something like this, the X is going to get open every time when he starts to break down the field. So what you're going to see is when he breaks down the field, you're just able to throw that right there. And obviously, you can get the angle on the safety a lot of the times as well. And worst case scenario, if they do something that it's covered where they move that safety, we do have a post and a slant that can beat man coverage as well underneath, which is why we switched to those two. But you can see here, this guy wins on this side as well. It's just we want to throw it to the short side. So whichever side of the field is the short side, that's where you want to look to hit that outside wheel. So you can see right when he breaks up the field, he's going to get that separation and give us that opportunity to get that one.
Unfortunately, that's not in Eagles. I wish it was. He has two stack formations, one out of empty tray stack and one out of stack Y off. If you just show him stack Y flex, it's going to be the same exact idea. All stack formations are really good against cover 2-man because the ability to basically put one on a C route, like the X on a C route and the Y on So you just put the bottom player on a C route and the top player on a wheel, and because of that inside leverage like that, the Y will almost always get open on the left side. See how they run into each other?
Yeah.
So you take any stack formation, Diesel, and a lot of them already have the C routes on them, right? Like we have it in corner strike, all that type of stuff, but you're just trying to get that inside release, and those guys are going to go into it. So the wheel's always going to be on the top, and the inside release is always going to be on the bottom player. So if you're looking at stack Y off, you're looking at empty tray stack. Those are two things that I would definitely look at to help yourself. Try to get that separation. So that's kind of one of the first things I go to right now when it comes to coverage and man.
Yep. Are there any other questions that you guys have here? We typically will wrap it up around this time, but Again, if there's any other questions that you guys have,
Just explain why, guys, because I don't want you guys to think that this is a glitch or anything like that. When somebody plays cover 2 man, they're asking their players to play underneath coverage from a trail, so they're going to be aggressive coming down. And when you see this guy, they're both trying to go to the players that they are. That's why you run stack formation so they can't get pressed. That's why you run bunch so they can do it. This is a football concept. Obviously, in this game of coding, all we're trying to do here is make it difficult, and they're switching which guy is which. Or not switching. They're basically just, if you understand, the inside guy has the top receiver, and the left guy has the bottom receiver. So that's why this concept works.
And for those of you, if you are football guys, ANCAP actually did say this is a switch concept for our offense, right? Where our inside guy goes out and our outside guy goes in. And because, again, everything else he talked about with that trail technique, with this switch technique with our 2 receivers, where they switch places, obviously you can see the inside guy goes out, outside guy goes in. That causes those 2 guys to bump into each other, and then that allows us to get down the sideline there, that route. So a lot of times people, like what Ant said, a lot of times people will think that something's a glitch or something, but this actually does have football knowledge behind it. And again, it's still a video game, so it's never going to be the exact same way that it's going to happen in real life. And obviously in real life, you'd tell your guys, hey, don't run into each other anymore. But
what you can do by just shitting over the top, right? You always have a counter in Madden, so if people are going to get beat over and over again, they just don't understand what the difference is to change it. So we're attacking what they're showing us, and then it's the chess match. Once they've done that, if they change their coverage, now you say, wow, I thought that was going to work. Well, they could have changed the shading in order to do it. But if they come out and just cover 2 man, and we're going to say, the reason why you run a stack is so that people can't get hands on you, right? We're shielding the X from basically getting a press, and by doing so, we're able to get the guy. Basically, these guys are gonna, kind of get run into each other.
And then, for instance, if they would do something like that, as he was talking about the chess match, if they're ever playing man, but they're not jamming you, or they're playing over the top, they're shitting over the top. Simple speed outs from outside receivers or curls from inside guys are going to be things that you can use to attack right there on the sideline. So if they do take away that wheel C route combination, you can always switch to there's a simple route over there. Whip routes do a pretty good job as well against that.
That's about hammer dagger. What I would do on that play if I'm going against cover 4 is probably streak the tight end. And that it is a tall post here, so that will help. But what you want to do is you want to basically get the right safety to follow the tight end. So the tight end has to beat the Y up the field, right? He goes on the outside, yeah.
And we can't get that guy. That's the outside quarters job there.
Yeah, outside corner would get him. He's not going to be influenced there. So what you'd want to do here is you'd want to hit that post. I would probably actually stem it down a little bit, but my guess is the A on the streak, something like that. That should work like that if that's how you want to make it work. And then the Y is going to get behind to the right over there. It's a much harder angle to fit there. The only other thing I would say is possibly see, because that angle, see how the Y continues to get elevation up the field. So it's going to be going into the strength of what the cover 4 defense is. If you go pick them, can you show me a trips with the angled post that you liked from your spread? I want to show you the difference in the type of post that you want to beat cover 4.
Can you say that again?
In trips, the angled post that you get from the inside receiver when you talk about cover 4 drop.
Oh, you're talking about the play that I
any trips formation, basically the angle post. So see these posts here by PA Crossers, the one in the middle. A lot of times, if you get in verticals, it'll be on the right side. But these routes, if you see the difference in the actual angle of the post, it's much different. Where they're actually going to go and start getting towards the sidelines quicker than the one that you just had. Angles matter a lot because what ends up happening is that he gets underneath, and now he's going to have that was a little bit less of a pass lead there. But yeah, in general, that's going to give you a much better opportunity to get open when it comes to that player. I was going to say, with the motion, that now you've got that ability to get that over there.
Deep on this one for some reason. Getting deeper than he did last year.
No, this works. So
I just don't know why. So I would run it to the wide side, right?
Yeah. No, so you have to get the X in motion because
it does
that pinches the two players. Yeah, it pinches the two players together. I think that's the thing. But you want them to go all the way to as close as you can to the hash mark, so the Y gets as close to the B as possible. Right now, and once he's settled, you're fine, right?
Yeah.
And then you just wait. Yeah, and there you go, right? So it's just patience on it. Time to reset Mower's password.
At least you didn't have me losing this time.
So to get back to Diesel, what I was trying to say is that hammer dagger post is way too the elevation off of it is way too close to the cover 4 player that it's going to be tough. That is more of a cover 3 post than a cover 4 post. I know that sounds weird, but that's because once you pass the middle safety in cover 3, you're fine that he gets elevation. And cover 4, you're not going to want that. Just play for now. Appreciate you, man. We're going to be doing this pretty much every Tuesday. And we encourage people as they come in just to know, hey, write things down as you go throughout the week. And that way you have questions, the simplest things, the most complex things. You're facing somebody that's doing something, how do I stop it? Or, why this card plays different than this card. It doesn't matter what it is. Gameplay, MUD, abilities, anything. We try to do our best to answer all spectrums of the game. And then, like I said, if there isn't anything, if there's something we just don't know, we're going to sit here and make sure that we get the answer for you and lab it out, and we'll be, better as a group for it. That's the type of, session this is. Do I even dare watch this video?
It's just me and you tumbling. We need a best of 3 with Geezy. I'll try to set one up maybe on Thursday night after the...
I don't think either of them can make 3 games without crashing out.
It is hard. But against Geezy, I can do it. I enjoy playing against him.
I'm tired.
What you'll see is a lot of competitive players don't like it when they start to get all the abilities in the game. When it starts getting less about the chess match and more about 500-pound running backs who can just air truck everywhere. A lot of...
Yeah.
Like I said, this isn't the time of the year for competitive players to enjoy.
I think it's even more than just competitive. I mean, I think anybody that likes the spirit of football, the spirit of the game, doesn't enjoy that type of abilities being what controls the game. To me, I understand there's a lot of people that like it, so I think you can just have two different modes, one that allows for it, one that doesn't, so you can kind of get your own experience. I think that would be the most beneficial thing going forward, because the people that hate it really hate it, the people that love it really love it, and then the people that are in between kind of have this scale, and I think it's getting to that breaking point where it's just not as fun for those people anymore. It was fun in the beginning, from February to May, and now May it's totally over the top. So, different people will have different experiences, right?
Show your picture, Mower, then I'm gonna hop off here.
Really just like playing either way, but really hate Omaha and Avalanche. To me, it really depends on the style player you are and whatnot. I think at least Avalanche is avoidable. You can depict where you throw it, how you get down, and kind of do that stuff. It does change the game to where you have to always be alert of it. I just think everything in excess is what the game goes wrong, right? One Colossus on the field, okay, we can game plan for that. Once you start getting more, now there's just absolutely no counter for it, right? With Avalanche, when you've got 7 on the field, I mean, that's not fun giving yourself up every play, right? Obviously, you want to have Avalanche, teamed up with an Enforcer Supreme or something in order to get the most out of it. But I think that's where the game goes to the extremes. It's not one individual ability. It's when there's the ability to have multiple on the field to where now there are actually no counters for it. And I think that's the issue.
Yeah, we gotta find a way to get Mower banned in this Discord.
So Diesel, the counter to that is bombing it over their heads. I don't know the last time I got hit sticked, because if I'm going to complete a pass, it's going to be deep or to the sidelines. Like I don't say that. Jay Free did hit stick me a couple times in that game, but in general, from a standpoint of you do have somewhat of a control. I know it's not. You play a game like a day of games. You're gonna have to, try to avoid it. But to me, it's less powerful than the Colossus Unstoppable Force metas that are out there. I can care less about universal coverages and all that stuff. I mean, everybody's got their stack anyways, right? You're running main, you got your stack, and you're running zone, you got your stack. It is what it is. I think those are the two, and then obviously Omaha film study. I hate threat detector and omniscient just because I just don't think that anybody should have information 100% of the time on that side of the ball. Yeah, if you want to have a simple season, just put Omaha on your quarterback. People will go ahead and quit out because they just don't want to play it. Which this is the formula. Get zero chill uniforms on zero chill field with Omaha and film study, and you will have the quickest season or gauntlet or MUT champs that you want.
You guys ever wonder how AntCap plays? There you go.
No, it's absolutely not the way I play. But the fact that is how people choose to play, I don't see how anybody can have fun doing that. But my blood pressure is definitely worth more to me to keep that under control than to play that. So that's how I look at it. By the way, you're getting called out in your CFM for not playing.
That's okay.
And didn't even contact the guy. It's got you get 2 hours before advance. I don't know.
He'll be alright.
I don't think you're gonna make the playoffs, by the way. So
That's okay.
just so you know.
I won the Super Bowl last year.
You know what? Some people just have different dedication when it comes to things that they commit to. You know.
I did last year.
Yes, I do plan on being on Friday again. I was trying to get another stream in this week, and I might still do it. But my neighborhood's been having some issues with internet. Today I didn't have the internet for half the day. There's something going on where they've got people are basically out working on it and they're shutting it down. So I don't want to be overcommitting. But if I have a day where I have where the internet's good and I'm caught up, I definitely will sneak in a stream here before Friday. This is what you do in practice, man? Pick 'em?
Huh?
You sit there and toss the ball?
Sometimes I do work on my hook and ladder plays, yeah. Just depends.
I see that.
Work on my
Cool, guys. We usually go to about 9:30, 10. Obviously, we will always extend if the questions are flowing in. That way, we make sure that we have the ability to answer and get the personal attention that these sessions are for. But if we don't have any last minute questions here, we'll definitely probably call it and kind of build off on it. I think we try to encourage you guys to write down questions as you want them. Obviously, we're at the end of the year, so a lot of people are probably less into knowing every little detail. But this is a great time when it comes to learning the game, to be able to take it to the next game, because I would say about 95% of everything goes from game to game as far as the way that things work. Obviously, there are going to be changes from year to year, but use this as a resource to help you understand the game better.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Appreciate you guys being here today. And like I said, this is something that we do each Tuesday evening. Also, check out our stream on Thursday evening, where we will be talking about where we go over a topic. We have drops. We do some more live Q&A, and then we have a little bit of gameplay as well. So make sure you tune in Thursday evening to our Twitch channel over at HuddleGG, that you do get drops for your MUT team. Yeah, make sure you tune in there. Diesel is perfectly fine. Just let us know. You will be able to send me a VOD that you have on Twitch. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Yeah, just message me on Discord and let me know when you want to do that, and that'll be perfect. So
I said the magic words, and my dog already knows I'm getting off of the stream here, so he is all up in my junk.
Yeah, my dog.
He knows.
I haven't said the magic words yet for me, but
Yeah.
they will be soon. But appreciate you guys. You guys have a good rest of your Tuesday. Like I said, if we don't see you before then, we will see you definitely Thursday evening, 7:30 Eastern is when we do that stream. So again, make sure you tune into that stream. I appreciate you guys. You guys have a good rest of your night.
Thanks, guys.